create a 180 with cardstock, the first step you're going to do is you're going to have to create the 180. So let me show you how you're going to do that. So you're going to go to the first page, and you can do this in two ways. This is my favorite way. This is from Crafted Sweetly. You can find her on Etsy. She makes these, I think, with a 3D printer. They're fantastic. And you put it on the edge of your book like so, and then you take this embossing tool. I actually got this one from the dollar store, and you can choose if you want to go really far in. You could do it here, but I'm going to do it just so it's about a centimeter, about 2 centimeters in or so, and you're going to emboss right here. Then when you go to fold it, it makes a perfect 180 like so, and then you can take your bone folder and make it nice and crisp. So let me show you that again. So on the bottom of this, if you see, there's a ridge right here. That hooks onto the side. And then I've decided I'm going to do it against this line right here. And you just go straight down and then fold your 180. The next method is using a hanging file folder piece. The way you can do this is I'm going to flip the book this way, and then I have this hack where I fill a sock with rice, and I use that as my weight. That works really nicely. So there's two ways you could do this. First method, with the hanging file folder, you put it at the very edge, and then you could use your embossing tool. And then there's your 180. Now, if you don't have the embossing tool, another way you could use this file folder metal is put it at the very edge and then just fold right over like that. That's another method to a perfect 180. The third method, again, free, scrap of cardstock, and then you're going to cut it 1 centimeter shorter than the book, or if you want a deeper 180, you could cut it a little bit shorter, stick it into the spine, and then fold right over. So there's really a lot of methods to do this. Once you've completed the 180 on all your pages, the book is going to be a lot wider than it was. So the next step is you're going to measure your pattern just like a typical cut and fold. And you're going to measure it right on top of this folded edge. So my first measurement for the butterfly is going to be 4.8 and 5/7. And I'll go ahead and turn the page. And my next set of measurements is going to be 4.5 and 6. And it's going to be 4.3 and 6.2. So you're going to go throughout your whole book marking it. So let me show you the next step. I love these scissors. They're by Fiskars, and they have this spring so you don't get as tired, and they also have a micro tip, so these are perfect for book folding. So go ahead and go back to your first set of measurements, and you're going to cut straight in to the end of this 180 tab. Okay? So cut right at those marks you made. And then let me show you the folding part. And it's up to you whether you want to mark the whole book and then cut, or if you like to do a little bit of both. Totally up to you. Again, I love this sock just to keep the weight down. It's filled with the rice. Now you're going to fold in the even tab. So this is tab number 1. This is tab 2. So I fold that all the way back. Okay. Again, tab 1, I'm only folding the even tab, so I'm only folding tab 2 here. Now what this is going to do, let's go back to that first page we did, this is going to allow you the space right here to add your color. Now originally I was thinking I was going to do this yellow, but I decided I'm going to switch to the cranberry. And then you're going to stick this in here like so. And then you're just going to do a dab of glue here and a dab of glue on your other tab. Make sure it's all the way forward, right even. And that's your very first color. So let me show you that again. And if you prefer double-sided tape, go for it. Lots of different ways you can do this. Again, just stick it right in. Just a tiny bit of glue here to hold it in place, and a tiny bit on your other side. And there you have it. Now let me show you later on in the pattern where it's more complicated with a lot more folds, just so you can see where that is. So I'm going to go ahead to my page 47 because that's going to have 6 folds. So again, it makes making sure I'm in my centimeters, and I'm on the very edge, and I'm going to do 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 8. Oops, that was supposed to be 6. That's exactly why we have erasers. I call these little magical mistakes, not a big deal. That's why I love working with paper. Little errors are not a big deal. 9, 2, 10, 3, and 11, 2. And then we're going to go ahead and cut straight in. I also sometimes use the text as a way to make sure that I'm straight, since the text is going to be very straight on there. Okay. Now this time you have a lot more tabs. So again, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to fold in the even tabs. So tab 2, 4, and 6. Go ahead and add your color and make sure you go underneath all those tabs. And dab of glue right there. Right there. While I'm doing this, it would be a great time for you to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the weekly tutorials. Also, check out my 3 books on Amazon, all pertaining to upcycling and book folding. And the link is below. And there you have it. Now, when I get to the center part of the butterfly, I decided I'm going to do the center part in black. Now, to make these strips, all I did is I just cut these on my paper cutter. If you prefer, you can use quilling strips of paper, but honestly, it's very easy just to cut these. When you do buy the cardstock, though, make sure that it's solid core, meaning that you can see the color on the edge. Some cardstocks, especially the cheaper ones, are going to have a color coating on the top and the bottom and white right here, which will defeat the whole purpose, because the only part of this that you're going to actually see is that edge part. So make sure it's solid core. So I'm going to continue working on this, and then we'll meet back and I'll show you all the finishing touches. So stay tuned. So you can start to see the butterfly's wings forming. And I want to show you, as I continue, I've marked throughout the entire book. And now I'm just continuing to cut and then add the tabs. Add the paper. So again, every other tab down, and they're the even ones. And this is, it's not gonna get any more complicated than this on this pattern, but this is what it should look like. And then go ahead and add your paper. And I like to glue every single tab down. Some people only do some of them. That's totally up to you. I'm just a little bit OCD when it comes to crafts. I just like everything tucked away. And make sure this is all the way forward. You want it really flush with this page right here. And then when I get to the middle of the butterfly, which I haven't reached yet, somewhere right around here, I'm going to switch to black for the middle, and then back to the cranberry. And we'll meet back at the end, and I will show you some finishing touches. So this is the finished butterfly. So it was the 180 fold, and then adding the cardstock. So notice here when we were up in this area of the antennas, I did the antennas black, so I cut a shorter piece here, and then I did the rest in the cranberry. Now for finishing touches, I love the idea of adding a little bit of paper right here just for that little extra color burst. And I picked out this blue that I really like. It reminds me of the clouds. So I'm going to show you how to add that. So since it's going to be on this piece of paper right here, I'm going to use this as the template. I'm going to mark where I want it here and here. You could use a ruler and scissors. I'm going to go ahead and use a paper cutter. And then I will double this over so I only have to make one measurement. Notice for this you don't need the solid core cardstock because you're not going to be using, it doesn't matter that on the edge here it's white, so this is not solid core and it doesn't go through the back, but it won't matter since we're just using the front. You're going to either use double-sided tape or glue and glue it right in place. So I'm just going to use this glue stick. I always like the trick with the glue stick. I don't know. It's called making an X and then a box. It's just a good way to remember the proper amount to use. And then I'm going to glue this in place. Another nice thing about using the glue is that you have a little bit of time to move this into place. So like so. And it just adds like that, just a little extra. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this one in place. So here's my X and then my box. Now, if you want, you could add book corners, so check out the video linked above if you want to add book corners to this. You can decorate the cover with washi tape. You could even watch my other videos on how to make these upcycled magazine pieces and then glue that there. I think that's really, really pretty. So lots of different ideas. Check out my other videos. Please don't forget to like and comment. Happy folding.